It didn't take long with the old live poll. It didn't take long at all. The decision has been made. The UMaine Black Bears will be switching to the Atlantic 10 Conference, replacing old St. Louis for the upcoming season. Done deal. We lose Bo Cruz, and you've yeed your last hot of graduation. Bimbo Cruz, or Bimbo Cole, excuse me, I read the wrong name. That power forward that we brought in who is just kind of okay. Bimbo Coles is going to transfer out. We can't talk him into staying. That's okay, because we did bring in a power forward who's going to be just about as good. So, all things considered, not bad. So we'll have 2 scholarships for off-season recruiting. We now have 2 scholarships to work with, as we have switched conferences for the very first time. Seeing those 5 stars obviously gets you a little bit excited. So, yearbooks. I'm not allowed to look at anyone else's yearbooks but ours. Roster management, manage roster. Let's see what St. Louis's team looks like, at least. Like, how good of a team did they have? And they still got bumped. The conference wanted to replace them. I mean, yeah, they're definitely a bit better. Mid to high 70s for their top players, which is about the best that we've gotten. Honestly, they're not that much better than we were at our best in terms of ratings. They're not that much better. So we do kind of fit in pretty well. We do fit in pretty much just as well as they did. Interesting. So recruitment-wise, again, we have 2 scholarships. And we got some 3 stars who are interested in coming here. Would they have been here if we didn't switch conferences? I don't know. But that is the most 3 stars we've ever seen available to us this early on. Or at the same time. We have no position of need. I don't know if I could technically... I don't think I can cut anybody right now, unfortunately. Okay. So, we have this center, Leon Donaldson. 6'6" power posts. We're interested, to say the least. At the very least, a letter of interest. He does have the highest option, too. At power forward, Cameron Flowers out of Plainfield, New Jersey. A 6'6" center. I mean, he's super undersized. I could technically move him over to power forward. Because this fucking power forward's 7 foot tall. But we have Cameron Flowers, who we will mention. Yes, we are interested in. Honestly, we'll do the internet research for these guys, too. Let's go back over to Donaldson. I'm aware he's a short center, but... fuck it, if I... granted, Ben Wallace was taller than he was. We have Eric Malloy. At forward, nobody. At guard, holy shit, Nathan Stewart. Out of Southgate, Michigan. Theo English out of Pompano Beach, Florida. We also have Gervais Crocker out of Salem, Oregon. And Derek Erickson out of Wichita, Kansas. No point guards that we're looking for, but those are the targets now as it stands. We have 2 scholarships, 2 of these guys at the very least. 2 of these guys at the... Derrickson, basically. Tenglish. So yeah, we need 2 of these guys at the very least. I'm going to be intrigued to see how this breaks down. If we look at our roster currently... right? And we're going to have to resort this coming up anyway. We just brought in Allen. We did just have a decent amount of changes kind of come through. Let's see where theoretically we could need the most help, even though we don't have anybody that we specifically have to bring in. So at center, we have Foles as a sophomore and Thundersticks also as a sophomore. Power forwards looking a little bit rough. One of our power forwards transferred out, so we have Tall Enough to Ride and the freshman Adam Allen. At forward, it's going to be the new boy Donaldson. He is our best option. Bobby Donaldson, the freshman. So small forward might not be the biggest need. I think we let Bobby Donaldson kind of run. And at guard, shooting guard at least, we have Little Richard, who's only a sophomore. Point guard, we have the freshman Grant Edwards and need a 5-star. So I'd say power forward's probably the biggest position of need. And then we could go for something else. But we definitely want to try to get the best power forward of that bunch. And then from there, it's a little bit tough. I mean, right now we have 4 forwards, so someone's getting cut. Sal Vacano's probably going to get cut when we can. Power forward and best available. It's pretty much what we're looking at, yeah. And we already have 5 guards. We could afford to cut somebody else. But yeah, power forward is definitely the biggest need. Let's sim a week and get our answers from these guys. So out of our targets, Stewart's still at medium, so he'd be the biggest risk to go for, but he is also the highest rated of the bunch. So Donaldson at center, we're now a top 3 option for him. Averaged 15 points a game offensively. We can scout these guys a little bit more. We do have points to scout these guys just a little bit more. I mean, this guy, I know he's a center, but we could technically move him over to power forward, right? Let me double check that I'm allowed to do that. Otherwise, he's way too short for a center. Didn't mean to go there. Meant, oh my god. Meant to go to edit player. I believe you can still get invited to conferences in older games. Like, I know like NCAA 06, football-wise, lets you do that. So let's go to Allen. You cannot change primary position. Players do have a secondary position, though. But you cannot change a primary position. So that might mean we rule out that center. And honestly, I think we do. I think we rule him out for the sole purpose of we can't guarantee that he can play power forward. It mentions nothing about a secondary position. And if he can only play center at 6'6", he's going to get fucking dominated by just significantly taller people. So let me know what you think, if you agree with the logic. I mean, but pretty much makes sense. So power forward-wise, I mean, we're looking at Malloy or Flowers. Malloy, 15, nearly 16 rebounds a game. Dennis Rodman Jr. over here. Holy fuck. Whew. And what about Eric Malloy? 11 points a game. Not number 1, Cameron Flowers. He's the guy. That many rebounds per game? Holy fuck. And yeah, his threes percentage honestly isn't that bad. Immediately we're offering this kid a scholarship. We're top 3 for him. I don't think we really have to do anything else. We're offering Cameron Flowers one of our 2 scholarships. Easily. So from there, we do have to decide who the best player available is. Again, there was Donaldson. He's a bit short, but he did average 15 fucking points a game. Yes, players do grow in terms of height, I'm not sure if they grow. Ratings-wise, obviously. Eric Malloy had the 11 points per game. Like, let's be honest, I like Eric Malloy for the height. But, who's better, Malloy or Donaldson? It's Donaldson. At that stage, we could risk him not having power forward as a secondary position. So I think we can rule out Eric Malloy. At guard here, we have Nathan Stewart. 10 points a game, 9 assists. That's honestly pretty good, but that's an uphill battle. Theo English, 8 points a game, 6 assists, nearly 7. What about Gervais Crocker? I'm going to go back to Stewart. Yeah, you're right. That three-point percentage was absurd. It just makes me think he doesn't take threes. Maybe we do fight for him then. Gervais Crocker, 12 points a game, also had a high three-point percentage. Not quite as high. Crocker was nowhere near the assist level of Stewart. And then Derrickson, 11 points a game. Kind of a jack of all trades. Decent rebounds, good steals, good assists, good three-point shot. And then point guard, there's nobody. I am leaning towards making a push for Nathan Stewart. Just off of that three-point percentage, the high assist per game. And again, English looks like a slightly lesser version than Stewart. Same for Crocker, but Crocker doesn't have the assists. Stewart's the best shooting guard. It's Stewart or Donaldson. And let's be honest. Again, Donaldson had the 15 points per game, but he's not crazy on rebounds. I think it's Stewart. I think we risk bringing this guy in. Kofi, what's going on? I just found this game in my house. Kofi, good to see you. I did buy 07, which I have on physical copy. The recruiting in this game sucks. So I was like, okay, do I want to play? What later game do I want to play? And I was going to play College Hoops 2K8, but at the same time, the recruitment's almost too in-depth. By the way, yeah, how do you like Adam Morrison on the cover? 07 might be the worst one, right? It was like $2. So, but yeah, 2K8's obviously the game everyone says the best. This was almost a little bit better because, again, recruitment-wise, 2K8's so in-depth that it's like, let's take it easy a little bit type of thing. If I can only find this game for like $100. Matthew, it depends on if you have a PC that's good enough to run a good emulator. Honestly, that might be worth a better investment. I think we go for Nathan Stewart. We see if we can get this guy. If we can't get Nathan Stewart, then we look at either English, Crocker. All right, really quickly. We know we're ruling out Derek Erickson, right? Maybe? Our top two are Stewart and Donaldson. I think we can say that, right? But Stewart's the number one guy. We just have to really fight. We have to fight for this guy. And really look to make up ground. So we're going to use a lot of fucking points here. We're gonna use a lot of goddamn points. He's an expensive one, but we're gonna do it. And we're gonna hope for the best. Honestly, we're gonna watch a game of his as well and try to get even more information on Nathan Stewart. So we will sim another week. Again, we just moved conferences for the first time after a brutal fucking season, but it's a better conference. Go figure. Here we go. Stewart up to high interest. Cameron Flowers. Let's go. So we got the best big man available, more than likely, in the form of Cameron Flowers. Very happy about that. Again, he averaged almost fucking, 16 rebounds a game? Dennis Rodman Jr. From there, we got to try to seal the deal for Nathan Stewart. 10 points a game, still shot almost 50% from 3. Like, what the fuck? Heavily recruited because he could score down low, has potential, he's an average rebounder. Doesn't care about the playing time offer. Apparently he's a good inside scorer too. We don't have that many points left to try to win him over. We'll conduct the phone interview. And honestly, we're going to offer him the scholarship right now. And if we get through this week and he hasn't commit, we are going to have to go after somebody else. Because we'll only have 2 weeks left. Still hasn't commit. Donaldson is still there. And again, I think we identified Donaldson as kind of the biggest boomer bust, but Stewart is up to highest interest. All we can do is make one more phone call. We have 1 week left after this, right? We do. If he does not accept on the 3rd, we go and offer Donaldson the scholarship as well. That's our only option. That is our only option. Stewart, it's now or never, buddy. It's now or never. Let's go, coach prestige, team prestige, even though we don't have much. You get that scholarship offer one more time. Nathan, let's do it. Now's your moment. Now is your moment. Yes. Let's go. So hopefully this guy's as good as he looks. But we brought in an unbelievable rebounder and a guy who might be the next Steph Curry in terms of three-point shooting. We move conferences as well. That's a hell of a pick-me-up heading in to this new era. Let's see how good he actually is. Flowers is a 70 out of the gates. Awesome. 86 defensive rebounding. He literally is the next Dennis Rodman. Holy shit. He doesn't have much of a vertical leap. He doesn't have much strength, but the guy can bring down rebounds. Beautiful. What about Stewart? He's a 70 out of the gates. 77 three-point shooting. So not incredible, but not bad. Not bad. It makes you wonder about Donaldson. 77 passing. He's not bad defensively either as Stewart. Stewart's okay. Honestly, he's more of a fucking slasher. So, okay. That is where we are at. Let's double check this team. Let's double check this team. We will fully reorganize what we have going on and see who the best of the best are for each position before, again, getting ready to compete in our new conference. MH, what's going on? Now, see, here's the thing. I didn't play much of the college basketball games growing up. I was always more of a college football type of guy. Like, I certainly played them, but it was never kind of as in-depth, so I'm kind of glad we went with the idea to play this before Madden comes out, because I'm having a hell of a lot of fun. All right, so point guard-wise, we'll have to make a decision between Nita 5-star and Grant Edwards. NCAA sanctions is there for depth. But Edwards as the freshman, 5-star as the sophomore. At shooting guard, no doubt it's Little Richard, the sophomore. Now we got Nathan Stewart and Theo Donaldson there. So, in theory, I mean, if we wanted to try to open up another scholarship spot for next season, we could cut at least one guard. At forward, I mean, Volcano's a senior, but he's not that good. It's obviously Bobby Donaldson. It's got to be Bobby Donaldson as our starter. He's 1 overall point worse as a freshman. And then power forward, we have Tall Enough to Ride and Adam Allen. I mean, Cameron Flowers is the guy. And then at center, we got Foles the 7th and Thundersticks. So, it depends on how aggressive we want to be in terms of making sure that we have scholarship spots open. Tall Enough to Ride could go. He's already worse than Flowers. He'll never play over Flowers. Adam Allen, though, is kind of in the same spot where Tall Enough to Ride is now. And again, no one's beyond their sophomore year as a big man. Honestly, comparing these two, they kind of balance each other out. I think we could get rid of one of Two-Rider Allen to open up another scholarship spot, especially if we start getting into the the conversation of constant 3 and maybe even dipping into 4 stars. Forward, I mean, Salvicano is terrible. 6'9", he's got great height, but he was terrible. We want Bobby Donaldson to be the starter. So right now, I'm going to redshirt the people that I am tempted to cut. The question is, how good is Adam Allen going to be at the end of Season 1? Will he go up by 2 or more? So I think Tall Enough to Ride is kind of on the chopping block. Fortunately, from there, it reorganizes. So we gotta resort this. At forward, Salvicano's on the chopping block. I definitely prefer to look at getting rid of him. The recruitment settings on. I think they were just on the default settings. I don't recall doing anything too crazy. Honestly, at forward, you could even argue, I know it's Crash's magnum opus, but Hugh Grant Semi. Or Hall & Oates, like either could go. Like we only really need one depth option for Bobby. We could have 2. Shooting guard wise, we're looking okay there. Honestly, you could argue that Theo Donaldson's a little bit disappointing. If we were to get rid of a guard, Donaldson's not likely to go up by 3 to match NCAA sanctions. So in theory, Donaldson could be the one that gets cut. Because we should be able to bring in somebody better, and we already did in Nathan Stewart. Donaldson's never going to be a starter. So we could cut those 3 people and open up 3 more scholarship options for next season because we literally don't have any seniors on this team. That would be the reason for doing it. And carry 4 big men, 3 forwards, 5 guards. Honestly, I think we go aggressive like that. I think we do. We want those scholarship offers because, again, being in a bigger conference, we need to be able to take advantage of the dudes that might actually be interested in our school now. So, Theo Donaldson, we just recruited you, but you're going to get cut. We're also going to cut the senior Sal Vulcano. I mean, we could keep him on the roster because he is a senior. I guess we'll keep Sal on the roster because he's a senior. But we're also going to cut Tall Enough to Ride. Sorry, it's a great name, but we just don't really have space for him at this point. We'd rather aim higher. Cameron Flowers just totally made him irrelevant. Poor Theo, cutting him does nothing. Yeah, he's just never going to play, though. Honestly, we'll keep Sal on the roster because he is a senior. So, that is the kind of outlook here at the moment. Let's kind of get our little look here at what we got going on. So school overview, 2-star, now in the Atlantic 10. Oh, I know, Major, I know, but that's the thing. Why cut him? Because he's a senior, so it's going to be fine. I was trying to comment on 2 different things you mentioned at the same time and probably jumbled it. So, obviously, we will have to rename people, as we do. Let's go ahead and hit Start New Year and see what kind of scouts we have available. So season preview-wise, we're not the worst team in the division. Or in the conference, not even close. UMass is actually the best. You got a couple of B's there, St. Joseph. So we're obviously outmatched right now, but we shouldn't get the shit kicked out of us. Hopefully. You could argue if it was worth it because the America East, honestly, we would have been right in the same conversation. We would have been right in that same mix of like, maybe we'll make it, maybe we won't. So that's fine. We have the 1 scholarship. Conference prediction is 8th. Only 80 points for the budget. We normally have more than that, don't we? 80 seems kind of low. 80 seems quite low. Like, really low. Why? Like, am I wrong? But 80, only 80 points seems incredibly low compared to what we've been getting. So that's scary. And probably shouldn't happen. Let's hope it's glitched. That is the only hope. So, need a 5-star will start over Grant Edwards. Little Richard there will start at guard. And those two are freshmen. At forward, Donaldson will start over Sal, who can be the next depth option. And Oates goes down as well. And then we have Sal will probably be like the 6th man at this stage. Starting power forward will easily be Flowers. Let's see. Okay, and then from there we just need to decide our center, which will be Foles the 7th. And there is Mr. Thunderstick. So that is the team. Everyone's at least over a 70, but our best player is only a 75. In terms of the custom schedule, we'll just run it. Apparently, North Carolina's on there, but whatever, let's just do it. Preseason training, we'll go to our typical 25 for everything. And then honestly, we're just going to go 50-50 for the training. I think I am going to take out North Carolina. That's just asking us to get our asses kicked. We will go over to the America East, though. And let's say hello to our old friends, the New Hampshire Wildcats. They said no. Binghamton said yes, though. So we'll play Binghamton for old time's sake. Play St. Louis for the... Ooh, that's a good shout, actually. That is a good shout. Dude, they're too good, though. Jesus, you want me to die? Alright, well, fuck it. You guys set for the memes. Alright, so recruiting-wise, we have less points than we'd prefer. Who's interested? So we have quite a few 3-stars, at least at center. Power forward, it's a bunch of 1-stars, so we won't even bother. Alright, hold on. So let's target the initial 3 stars. Power forward, there's nobody. Alright, not as many 3 stars as I would have preferred. Couple of big men in the mix, though. Let's go ahead and add the 2 stars that are also interested. Apparently it's a big year for centers for us. And a couple of 2-star guards. So it's a good thing we actually did just bring in... Shout out to Ty Butts. It's a good thing we did bring in some guards recently. And again, we know 1 scholarship available isn't actually the case. From there, let's just add these power forwards so it doesn't autofill, and we know that we'll end up cutting them. So, not bad. We're still not in 4-star territory. We're not going to have a need to bring in anybody specific either. So that's not too bad. So we get through training camp. Super busy schedule as always. Let's double check the recruiting one more time. So on our short list... That 3-star center is ready to go, man. Let's get rid of these 1-star guys. We are above that at this stage. We do have 3 scholarships available. So, fairly obvious. Top target, Alonzo Ford. I have muted the cell phone, yes. Alonzo Ford, no doubt, is a top target for us as one of the 3 stars. And then at center, we have Bobby Hardy. Will definitely be one of our top targets. You also got Bill Flowers. Samuel Avery. So this again is going to be a big year for centers. And those are the 4. So we have the forward and the 3 centers as our top targets. Bobby, 21st ranked center as well. Not bad. So no doubt the 4 3-stars are our top guys. We have 3 scholarships we are looking to land. The forward and Alonzo Ford, and then 2 of these centers. And man, 7'1" Bill Flowers. Those are the guys. Those are the guys. The top 25 polls, by the way, defending champion Maryland at number 1. Are there any interesting ones here? I mean, right now it's kind of the usual suspects at this stage in terms of who is there. Yeah, no crazy new names. Shout out to Arizona, though, starting the season in the top 25. So this is maybe the most important year that we've had so far. This is going to be a big, big season for us, one way or another.